Okay, today we are doing time conversion. I went over this standard on the first video, so I'm not going to go over that now, but we're going to convert units of time. I will remind you that English to English is what we're starting, and you will be doing it without the conversion factor. So it won't be provided for you on the EOC. So you're going to have to memorize these things. Okay, and we'll just go past that. All right, dimensional analysis is probably new to you. When you did this in elementary school, I'm certain you did not use dimensional analysis in order to do it. But we will be using dimensional analysis, and that's used in science a lot. So it'll be good for you when you get to your physical science class or your chemistry class. So dimensional analysis is a process that uses rates to convert measurements from one unit to another. A rate such as there are 12 inches and 1 foot, in which these two quantities are equal but use different units. That's called a conversion factor. This is a conversion factor right here. To convert a rate from one set of units to another, multiply by a conversion factor. Now, we're going to go through this quickly. It says discuss with your partner. You don't have a partner right now if you're viewing this on video. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go through and make sure you remember these things. How many hours are in a day? There's 24 hours in one day. How many minutes are in an hour? 60 minutes. And these are things you have to memorize if you don't already know. How many seconds are in a minute? 60 seconds. And how many, if you work 40 hours a week, how many minutes would you work in 1 week? So we're going to take our first problem and we're going to work it using dimensional analysis. So we're starting with 40 hours. So you always put your starting point here. I am trying to arrive at minutes. So you use the conversion factor of how many minutes are in an hour. Now, the conversion factor, if I've got hours here, I know there's 60 minutes in an hour. I need to know how to write my fraction. Do I write 60 minutes like this per hour, per 1 hour, or do I write 1 hour per 60 minutes? Depending on how you start your problem, where it's starting to, and where you're wanting to go to, depends on how you write that. I have hours right here. Hours can be placed as 40 over 1. So if my hours are here, I want my hours in the denominator here. So I'm going to write this as 60 minutes per 1 hour. And what that does with dimensional analysis is that cancels, because this is in the denominator, this is in the numerator. That goes away. And now I have just minutes left, which is my destination. So 40 times 60 is 2,400 minutes in 1 hour. How many seconds are in an hour? I'm starting with seconds. Actually, I'm starting with hours. It's asking me how many seconds are in an hour. So I have 1 hour. That's my starting point. And I'm going to seconds. So that's my destination. So I don't necessarily have a conversion factor that takes me from hours straight to seconds. What I have is one that says 60 minutes in 1 hour. So again, hour is in the numerator, so hour will be in the denominator this time. And I'll do 60 minutes per 1 hour. Now, I'm not finished, because what this does is this takes me to minutes, but I want to go to seconds. So what I want to do now is I want to put 1 minute in the denominator, because I have minutes in the numerator here. And I want my seconds in the numerator. So there we go. That cancels again. So 1 times 60 is 3,600 seconds in 1 hour. Okay. How many seconds are in one day? So I'm starting now with 1 day. So I'm going to go from days to hours. So I'm going to write day here, because day is here in numerator. It goes to the denominator. How many hours are in a day? Then I'm going to multiply by hours and minutes. So 1 hour down here, because hours is here. 60 minutes here. Then, since minutes is in the numerator here, minutes will be in the denominator here, and 60 seconds will be in the numerator. Now, let's go back and let's look. What I want to happen is I want all these other units to cancel out, and they do. Numerator, denominator, numerator, denominator, numerator, denominator. And I'm left only with seconds. So we're going to take our calculator. I'm good, but I'm not that good. I can't do 24 times 3,600. But we're going to do 24 times 60 times 60. And that gives me 86,400 seconds in one day. That's a lot of seconds. How many hours are in a year? All right, I've got 1 year. Now, I'm going to go, since I have a year here, a year will be here. How many days are in a year? 365 days. Do not use months here, because months will not be accurate. Because some months have 30 days, some have 31, some have 28, some have 29. So you need to use days in a year. So there's 365 days in a year. In one day, there's 24 hours, and I write big, so I'm just going to have to go to the next line. And then, in 1 hour, and notice how I'm going. This is numerator, denominator. Oh, and this is where we're stopping. Sorry about that. I forgot where we were going. I was going all the way to seconds. We want to go to hours, so that's good. I've reached my destination. It does matter if you take a look and make sure where you're headed. All the rest of them were seconds, and I'm just flying. All right, so we cancel this out, cancel this out, cancel days, and I'm going to do 365 times 24. 8,760 hours in a year. How many years are in 1,051,000? Yes. 1,051,200 hours. And I want to know years. So I'm starting with hours and I'm going to years. All right, now, this time, I'm going to put my hours in the denominator. Okay, and I'm going to years. So I'm going to go, since I'm going to years, I'm going hours to days. So there are 24 hours in one day. Then from there, I'm going to go days in the denominator and year in the numerator. So there's 365 days in 1 year. Notice that this problem, instead of having every one of our numbers in the numerator, they're in the denominator this time. That's how come it's important when you're looking at this to see what you have. This is hours, and make sure that hours goes here, and then you have your days, and then days will go here. That's how come it's important to use dimensional analysis. It will send you in the right direction. So in my numerator, I've got this number times 1 times 1. So we're going to put this number in the numerator. And in the denominator, we're going to multiply 24 times 365, which is 8,760. And then we're going to take this number and divide it by that. So, and make sure you typing it right. That's 120. So 120 years. That's our answer. Okay, thank you.